That's right, we're going back in time to the second Mario and Luigi game to get babies off the men. I said to get babies off. To get. There we go. Peace and quiet. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, would you look at that? This damn thing got a sequel. Yeah, a lot of people were pretty damn surprised that Nintendo was actually following up with the success of Superstar Saga with the second entry in the series, Mario & Luigi Partners in Time. To be fair, it made sense. Reminder that Superstar Saga did exponentially well upon release, so, like most things, looking at you, Disney, a sequel was in order. Hold on. Yeah, SMP. Can I use that little sequel song bit real quick? I'm looking at Partners in Time. I can? Yeah, thanks, man. I owe you one.
Okay, everybody, let's do this again. We're doing a sequel, just like they do in Hollywood. Cause everybody knows that the sequel's never quite as good.
And what better hardware to put it on than the newest testing dummy, the Nintendo DS. However, despite the new hardware and excitement for a sequel to the Mario & Luigi series, Partners in Time is often acclaimed as the forgotten one in the series. Whether this was because of the story, gameplay, or this happening majority of the game, people tend to gloss over this one. Is there a reason for this, however? Well, that's why I'm here to find out. Everyone, my name is Shade Midnight. Sit back and relax as we head back to the past to continue our Mario & Luigi marathon with Mario & Luigi Partners in Time. Hey, SMP, I heard you had access to William Afton now. Can you do a Pella solid? The story starts us off in the distant past, with baby Mario and Luigi defeating baby Bowser, who's trying to kidnap baby Peach. Okay, whoa. Two things. One, take a shot every time I say the word baby and not just this segment, but the entire video. And two, really? Even when these two were in diapers, they were protecting this damn blonde? Like, how'd that go when Pauline came into the equation during Donkey Kong, and where's Child Protective Services when you need them? Where are your guards? If this has been happening since childhood, then what the heck is up with you, Peach? I mean that both as a joke and literally, because soon enough, after properly defeating baby Bowser, the castle is soon under attack by alien invaders, causing everyone to escape.
Meanwhile,
back in the present, Professor Egad is showing off his brand new time machine, powered by an artifact known as the Cobalt Star, in which Peach decided to try out and travel back to the past. Yeah, if this game's name didn't already spoil it, we're dealing with time travel. This can only end in too many ways. And according to Luigi's Mansion 3, this will not be the last time he meddles in time travel. When the machine comes back, however, Peach isn't how she was prior to leaving. No, this isn't Peach, but instead an alien invader that we later find out are known as the Shroobs. Always wondered what would happen if Toads finally grew a backbone and drank too much grape Fanta. A time hole opens up in the courtyard of the castle, the brothers dive on in, and end up in the past, right in the middle of yet another alien invasion. After a lot of hijinks and very close calls, did Mario and Luigi just fucking die? The baby bros end up finding, themselves, and come aboard the Koopa Cruiser, manned by baby Bowser and his army. Guys, I promise I'm good at basic English. Unfortunately, they get found out and shot right out of the sky and into Bowser's castle, where the bros and baby bros team up to not just find a way to get out, but also just what in the Robert Zemeckis is going on? When they do find a way to get back to the present time period, Egad explains that they must find the pieces of the Cobalt Star to power the time machine. Okay, so it's a basic beat the evil bad guys, find the important thing, and everything is all good kind of story, right? Well, no. Because soon enough, Princess Peach ends up getting kidnapped by the Shroobs. Oh my guards! You must have them! Come on! This is getting ridiculous! Real quick, we have a new companion with us this time around in the form of Stuffwell. He's a cute little suitcase guy that helps out sometimes. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care for Stuffwell all that much. Not to say he's a bad character or whatever, I just think he's not too memorable, which makes sense as to why he was instantly replaced in the next game. As the brothers journey between time periods, we're soon properly introduced to the Shroob's leader, Princess Shroob. And we still can't understand what the heck any of them are saying. A part of me wants to believe that they're just throwing out slurs. Maybe this game really isn't E-rated after all. No, besides Princess Shroob herself being able to speak English, or at least have the game translated for us, we would later find out that they're constantly saying, destroy. That's kinda dark. Think about it. An alien race whose whole purpose is to just destroy, destroy, destroy. They know nothing besides destruction. Sounds like another weird species. Don't know if you heard of them. They're called humans. Nothing too much of note happens after this, except when you go to this underground sewer system as the baby bros, you end up finding Fawful from Superstar Saga? Yeah, apparently bro didn't poof into smoke like I'm sure all of you thought. Instead, he's been hiding in the shadows, plotting his next move to get revenge on the stashes of red and green that ruined his plans. Okay, never mind, that's kinda cool. Who would have thought Mario would have some form of continuity? Next thing you know, people will start arguing about the Mario timeline and any retcons or callbacks. God, I'm glad this fanbase is mostly normal. You know who I'm talking about. After going through the Star Shrine and claiming the final piece of the Cobalt Star, the bros and baby bros head on over to the final dungeon of the game. A Shroobified version of Peach's once bustling castle, the Shroob Castle. Geez, first Bowser's Castle in Superstar Saga and now Peach is here? Is this gonna be a running thing? As the bros go through the castle, completing puzzles along the way, this run right here just sucks, they finally take on Princess Shroob and properly beat her. So, that's it. End of the game, right? The almost complete Cobalt Star appears, and it is here we find out that Princess Peach had the final piece of it, but doesn't want to use it. You I can't. I just can't. She must have a good reason, right? Of course, baby Bowser rears in his ugly head and takes the final piece, making the Cobalt Star whole again. But doing this, something happens. You see, when Peach traveled to the past, she was attacked by Princess Shroob and her sister, Elder Princess Shroob. In an effort to protect herself, Peach used the Cobalt Star to seal away the Elder and soon shatters it right after. Now that they're all pieced together, Elder Princess Shroob comes back and she is not happy in the slightest. This is the true final boss of Partners in Time, one that the bros swiftly deal with, at least they thought they did. Before going down, the Elder uses the power of her crown and turns into Oh god. So, this is their leader, huh? A form so grotesque, with a presence that even makes Peach faint on the spot. The atmosphere has turned dark and grim. The Elder has gotten to the point where she'll sacrifice her own subjects to defeat... No, to destroy the bros. Even the music, man, it's chaotic yet almost somber, as if the Shroobs themselves are sending a cry for help from their ruler. Like, take a listen. You get what I mean, right? She needs to go down, and with the power of child labor and mixed flour, the Elder is defeated, turns into a plain old mushroom, the present crew pours a bunch of water into the past to revert the Shroobification, and peace is restored to the timeline. Oh god damn it! Yeah, since every Mario and Luigi game has to end with some sort of Bowser fight. Bowser munches on the Elder Princess Shroom, gets possessed by her, and becomes Shrouser? Really? We're literally like right there. We're at the end of the game. Why are you extending this more than it already is? Hell, you might as well call this Elder Princess Shroom's third phase. This just feels like padding or filler or more fluff when the game was about to end on such a perfect note. This is barely a boss fight, by the way. You're just deflecting and dodging their attacks, and no, this didn't need to happen at all. Alright, now after the actual final fight, everyone says goodbye to their past selves, the babies return back to their timeline, credits roll, and so ends Mario and Luigi, Partners in Time. Did this take longer to summarize than Superstar Saga? Felt like it. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The concept of time travel. When done right, time travel can be a very interesting concept to work off of. And, in Partners in Time's case, it honestly works well enough. There's no timey-wimey BS that makes things confusing. It's pretty consistent overall. While I'm not a huge fan of sci-fi, I'm more of a fantasy person myself, the Shroobs serve as a pretty intimidating threat, especially with their aforementioned desire for only destruction. What about the supporting cast, though? Well, it's basically just our current cast, but younger. Now, this is both good and bad. Good, because it honestly makes for some adorable moments between bros and baby bros.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Like, come on, that's adorable. However, bad because, yeah. God, where's SMP with Afton? I need him here at ASAP. While EGAD doesn't do too much besides, make the damn time machine that kind of caused the whole thing in the first place, he's a joy to have on screen when he appears. Kylie Koopa of the Koopa Chronicle is honestly really fun to have around, and I'm happy she comes back in later installments. And again, the little segment with Fawful venting out his frustrations to the baby bros is absolute cinema. Besides characters, some moments in this game can be pretty grim. Look at this. This is a place where toads are just being drained of their life force from trees and literally die, and their essence turns into this Vim juice? What? Holy crap, what game am I even playing at this point? Might as well be a damn horror game and slap an M rating on it. Maybe Slenderman should take some notes. Is there anything bad about the story, however? Well, besides the dumb addition of Shrouser at the end, not that I can really think of. Some of the dialogue not being as comedic as it was in the first game, some areas being drawn out due to game progression, but for what it is, I think the story in Partners in Time is alright, honestly. Not better than Superstar Saga's, but still a fairly decent one. See, you can have a game with dark moments and still have a pretty good story. Take notes, Shadow05! Actually, wait, when did this game come out again? Ah, so it was Nintendo that made sure not to fuck up. Yeah, checks out. Similar to Superstar Saga, Partners in Time has us in control of Mario and Luigi from start to finish, with the inclusion of Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. You still use the D-pad for basic movement, and A and B are still used to have Mario and Luigi jump respectively. However, with the Baby Bros in tow, 2 new buttons have been added to the mix, X and Y, with Twitter being for Baby Mario and Y being for Baby Luigi. I know guys, 2 more buttons. This may be a bit too much, even for me. At this rate, I'll have to start using a keyboard, but that may end up amounting to... The Baby Bros work almost as an extension for the regular brothers, being able to reach high or low places, fit into small corridors or passages, etc, etc. It is with this combo that you'll complete overworld puzzles, have a new experience in battle, and more. What's interesting, however, is that the fact that the bros beforehand were able to do things the Baby Bros are doing perfectly fine in Superstar Saga. Now, you could chalk this up to a classic case of resetting to level 0 with no prior knowledge of things previously, yada yada, as is usually the case for Samus in some Metroid games. But I still find it weird that things like Mario getting fat off water or the bros being able to form a drill have been moved to the babies. I'm not upset about it or anything, though. I do find it pretty questionable. Look, as long as they don't pull some stupid retcon in a later game, like saying the babies are from another dimension for no reason, I'll survive. In addition to all that, we have collectibles in this game. The legendary and fabled beans.
Give me your beans. Give me your f***ing beans. Oh my god. Yes.
The babies don't only affect overworld gameplay though, because in battle, they also work as an extension of Mario and Luigi. For example, whenever you jump with Mario, you have to press A at the right time, but now you have to press X at the right time afterwards. On top of that, BP, aka Bros Points, has been completely thrown away. To the trash with all the other one-off Mario things that will never be brought up again. But here, we have the new Bros items. You can buy these at certain stores throughout the game, and they give you access to the Bros moves. The Bros moves this time around are a lot more flashy than Superstar Saga, and do a lot more damage. Akin to pressing the corresponding buttons when jumping and using the hammer, by pressing the same button during the Bros move, you can keep it going, which will only make those damage numbers rise even more. I will say that by changing Bros points into Bros items, it can make the game very easy by cheesing majority of the fights with some of the strongest ones. You still can use other Bros items, but are you really gonna when Mix Flower is right there? It's not a bad mechanic by any sense of the word, but it's something that they went ahead to change back to the point system in later installments. Brought right out of the trash cause it worked better than this. Can't say the same for you, Flood. For the most part, Partners in Time plays similarly to that of Superstar Saga. Usual turn-based gameplay with the added MNL Juniors now, Bros moves still function the same way, minus the usage of Bros items, and when you get enough XP, you can level up and add additional points to a stat of your choosing. The stats haven't changed either. HP, power, defense, speed, stash, it's all the same. Though, the stash stat doesn't make too much sense in the case of the baby bros. They don't have any in-game, but the stat is still there. What is it, do they have like stubble that we can't see or something? Speaking of the babies, I must say I feel like they're a bit underutilized. Why is this? Well, I feel like some of the puzzles surrounding the babies tend to be a bit one note. Usually with them just doing things the adult bros were able to do in the game prior. And while they're doing that, the adult bros are just kinda
Standing there, menacingly.
On top of that, they don't do too much with the whole baby concept. There's a fight with Bowser and Baby Bowser, a common enemy you fight later on, and I guess the Shroob sisters can count towards this as well? It's a small thing to pick at, but still something. Heck, besides Yoshi's Island, there aren't a lot of levels or references to Mario's past, which, for a game based around time travel and such, you'd think it'd be a no-brainer. Damn, I made the joke before, but at least Sonic committed. A little too much, but seriously, why the hell is he in Forces? Besides that, Partners in Time, like Superstar Saga, continues the tried and true turn-based combat, but does fall a bit flat on its face in terms of exploration. Could have been a bit better, but what we have, it's what's there. Though honestly, at least this has better exploration than Sonic Chronicles. And that game came out 3 years later! How did they flub that? A Sonic RPG was such an easy concept to make! Every time I pop open this game, I'm always amazed by how great it looks. Yep, just like Superstar Saga, Partners in Time looks pretty damn good. In a world where 3D models and realistic textures are the norm, it's such a breath of fresh air to come back to this game and enjoy the pixel art aesthetic. The colors that are used in multiple locations are pretty eye-popping, especially for any shroobified locations, replacing any bright bubbly colors with the dreadful purple associated with the alien menace. You know the saying, if the anime girl has purple hair, she's probably evil. So you bet your ass that applies to non-anime girls. Pretty sure Scott was inspired by this game when making Purple Guy. The Elder and him would make such great friends. What also helps is that this game runs at a smooth 60 FPS, letting you enjoy every bit of color that there is. this game truly does look and feel like an upgraded version of Superstar Saga, especially with the expressions every character makes. The joyful smiles of the bros and baby bros, the smugness of Princess Shroob herself, and my personal fave, literally any time a character gets surprised or shocked in any sort of way. You can really tell they wanted players to feel during these specific moments, and it shows. Though, going back to me enjoying the colors of the locations, the areas themselves can be a bit forgetful. Like, yes, there's Peach's Castle and Bowser's Castle, duh. And of course, Yoshi's Island, but besides that, there's the Vim Factory, with those two Hammer Bros who I swear talk as if they're in a Call of Duty lobby.
The fuck you say to me, you little shit?
Oh, there's the inside of a massive Yoshi. His name is Yob. This area is pretty funny because, well, if you've been with this series for as long as I have, you already know what comes after this game. I guess there's also Gritzy Desert and Holly Jolly too, both with their own reasons. Holly Jolly is probably one of the more disturbing places next to Toadwood Forest, not for the aesthetic, but for the implications of what once was. The snow, the colorful lights, the Toad dressed up as Santa Claus. This is giving me major Whoville vibes, and I really don't know how to feel about that. Though Bowser is appropriately Grinch-like, the only difference is even the Grinch gets bitches. But if you thought the atmosphere was the only thing Holly Jolly has to disturb you, then allow me, dear viewer, to play you the theme of this once joyful city. I'm sorry. Was that? No. No. You cannot just sneak in frickin' jingle bells in my Mario RPG. This whole place gives me the damn creeps, I swear. Out of all the locations and partners in time, Holly Jolly remains as the one I always come back to due to its mere existence as the, quote, holiday-themed area and, you know, not being all happy-go-lucky and cheerful. You know, for kids! Then there's Gritzy Desert. While the location itself is memorable enough to an extent, what people really remember this area for is the music. Come on, man! You either remember this song from this game or from when it was remixed in Smash Brawl. But nevertheless, it's still a really dang good banger. Which brings me over to the composer of Partners in Time. You know her, you love her, you can't help but want more of her. It's the marvelous melodist herself, Yoko Shimomura. Literally the JRPG music goddess. I swear, any game she even grazes is blessed with such a damn good OST. I already brought up the likes of Holly Jolly and Gritzy Desert, and even the final boss theme, Another's Requiem. But other solid tracks include Listen Up Now, Thwomp Volcano, Crisis of the Red and Green, the main battle theme, Attack the Enemy, Princess Shroob's battle theme, and Dance with Babies. While every song in this game is nice to listen to, in my personal opinion, I don't think it's better than Superstar Saga's. I know, I'm comparing the two games a lot in this video, but can you blame me? This is a follow-up to an amazing game on the GBA, so there's gonna be some expectations. But even so, the music in Partners in Time isn't bad at all, don't mistake it as that. I truly do enjoy every tasteful tune that blesses my ears, and I tend to re-listen to some of these tracks in my downtime. Heck, while writing this part of the script, I'm listening to Thwomp Volcano right now. Overall, while the level design for Partners in Time isn't the best, it looks absolutely amazing, sometimes even better than Superstar Saga, and the music is still a joy to listen to. Though, even with all that said, I do still think Partners in Time is one of the weaker OSTs so far. But hey, who knows? Maybe they'll change with time. Oh my god, come on guys! The joke was right there, okay? Sue me! Jeez, I'm never dealing with time travel again, I swear. Partners in Time, in its entirety, is not a bad game whatsoever. To me, it does some things right as a follow-up to a game should be. It looks better, it feels better, it sometimes sounds better. The story can be pretty dark at times, but not too dark where it feels like it's trying too hard to be edgy. The gameplay is still the same as the game prior, with added flashiness in combat. The environments are beautiful and the soundtrack is still lovely to listen to. So, what's wrong with it? Honestly, I believe that it has things going for it, but doesn't take full advantage of them. The concept of time travel is done well, but they don't do much with the idea besides bringing back Yoshi's Island and the babies. The idea of bros items is fine on paper, but in practice, it's not the best thing in the world, and the baby bros themselves can feel a bit underutilized sometimes. If you're gonna make them a main staple for every godforsaken spin-off under the sun, at least make their debut integral. But this is Mario. You can be a background cow and the world will love you. The colors of the areas that gave us are just so beautiful and honestly looking better than areas in Superstar Saga, but those areas aren't too memorable. And even though Shimomura worked on the OST, not a lot of people tend to praise it enough. There's a lot riding on this game, but it tends to miss the mark occasionally. Do I think it's a bad game though? In all honesty, no, it isn't. Partners in Time, despite being the forgotten child of the series, is still a lot of fun to play through, and I even know some friends of mine who enjoy this game to this very day. Where there are negatives, positives are soon to follow, and even with my rambling about some small nitpicks, I can still happily say I had a smile on my face from ear to ear when traveling with the brothers once again, but this time with some small company along the way. I personally say, give Partners in Time a shot. It was still a fun journey from beginning to end, and even though I had to deal with babies crying on occasion, I was still able to push forward and see this game through. With that said, I think Mario & Luigi Partners in Time is deserving of a pretty fair 8 out of 10. Thank you all so much for watching. I know you've all been waiting very patiently for this, and I absolutely appreciate you guys for that. I wanted to say thank you all for the support in my Superstar Saga video as well. Like, look at these views, guys. This may not look like a lot to some, but to me, it means so much. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the views, likes, and comments. With 2 games down and 4 to go, we're making our way down the list of an amazing series. Next time on this marathon, we'll be tackling one of the most highly rated RPGs Nintendo has ever put out, Mario & Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story. Does this game still hold the crown everyone says it wears? Is this truly the pinnacle of the series? We'll have to simply wait and find out. And I think for this next one, I'm gonna need a bit of help. But I'll save that for when the time comes. Until then, everyone, my name is Shade Midnight. Stay safe and stay fresh.